There's always a sense of dread that comes with the inability to fight back. This is especially true when it comes to horror games. As you know, most horror games come with the intention to scare you. It's hard not to get scared when all you can do is run away from death, especially when death comes in the form of this. A game that does this well is a game that you've all probably heard of, Little Nightmares. I found the game and its world to be quite interesting, and I hope to share this experience with all of you. So, sit back and I hope you enjoy the video. Our adventure begins with a foggy image of a woman. We then wake up with a joke, meeting our protagonist for the first time, and boy oh boy, do we look tiny. The game doesn't really tell you much in terms of how to play, rather it leaves you to figure out the controls on your own. Kind of like how a lion throws their cubs off a fucking cliff. So you end up wandering around, pressing whatever button you could think of, and after a while you end up proceeding on to the next area after realizing that you can light up these lantern thingies. We proceed on to the next area in which you, the player, are introduced to the first glimpses as to what this world will be like, and let me tell you, it is not forgiving. You continue forward, seeing this lovely mannequin strung up to the ceiling, and we decide to borrow this lovely little chair that he has. Don't worry, I'll give it back. And we open the door with this lovely carving that is definitely not intimidating. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling famished after all this running. Let's see what's in this fridge. Oh, look, a runaway. We decide to give them a good hug before continuing onwards. Venturing into the dark, we stumble upon these disgusting things. These are leeches. You do not want to know what happens when they decide to give you a good sucking. As we continue, we see a bleak and fairly abandoned world ahead, given by the monotone atmosphere that the game perfectly paints out for you. We fall down, and oh dear. After a while, we end up opening a mechanical door and sliding beneath it like the Giga Chad that we are. We finally have our first look at the sky. We're so screwed. We climb up and head towards the direction in which the sky was heading out, and we are met with a shockingly shocking pathway. No pun intended. We decide to turn it off, and there's something about the eerie silence within the dark room and the constant ticking of the clock that just feeds your anxiety. Up ahead, we encounter this guy who basically turns anything it sees into stone. We don't want to be like these fellas here. Poor lads. Arriving at the bedroom, I almost die from a heart attack as this guy just decides to barge in. So rude, am I right? Apparently, this thing is called the janitor, and that blindfold looking part of his head, yeah, that's made out of the flaps of his skin from the top of his head. A lovely image, I know. We wait for him to pass, being the sneaky specimen that we are, before deciding to wing it while definitely not panicking. We don't make it too far before we're seen, clutching our stomach, seemingly on the verge of collapsing as we struggle to keep moving. We're hungry, and luckily, we have just the guy to ask for the food that we need. Gee, thanks mate. We eat it, not even giving an ounce of gratefulness towards the kind sir as we proceed onwards. The next stage oddly reminds me of another game, Catherine, which if you've played the exquisitely eccentric game, you'll know what I mean. Making our way up, we solve the puzzles and... what the fuck was that? Making our way up, we solve the puzzles and jump down this wonderfully placed news as we encounter more of these disgusting little shits. Finally making it to the next area, we have to deal with this guy again. However, this time, it's different. As you can observe, this guy follows movement, and let's just say that it's been excruciatingly painful having to track this moving piece of junk. We head on, encountering more of these little guys, and we finally arrive at the elevator after going through the garbage in this room. I'd like to believe that this room belonged to the janitor guy, and we're just rummaging through his stuff, but who knows, really. I just don't want to die. We become hungry again, having consumed all of our food bars, and we need food, fast. Slowly proceeding onwards, we find rats who are so kind to share this leftover piece of meat with us. Protein. We wake up trapped in a cage, and it wasn't hard to figure out how to leave this thing. I mean, we're geniuses. Politely dragging our fellow inmate, we climbed on top of his cage and swing our way to freedom. Running, we find ourselves with our first encounter with this guy. And let me tell you, he is annoying to deal with. His arms are long, which means that distance doesn't really mean much, and going slow is basically a death wish. Trust me, I'd know. So I decide to wing it, running through the room and gracefully sliding through. And we juke the fuck out of this guy. I don't know if he's actually blind and he has to rely on his hearing, so I cranked this lever like my life depended on it, which it did, and I get my ass out of there. We arrive at a room full of leather shoes, and what the fuck is that? We find a moment of peace, and you've got to be fucking kidding me. We run. Now stuck in the elevator with no way out, and this is where it gets confusing for me. Apparently, he was blind, evidenced by just how dumb he looks around the elevator, but in later stages of the game, it's like he has wall hacks to track you down as you run away. You'll see what I mean. Encountering him again, we use this monkey to lure him away and wing it, climbing up the drawers and making our way through another conveniently placed hole. After a while, we find ourselves in a library, after finding another contraption that needs a triangular shaped lever, in which it's much easier to run away from him by using the empty spaces underneath the bookshelves as a means of escape. We make our way through the hole, and we turn on the TV so we could watch everyone's favorite nighttime drama. Yeah, I love watching Girl with a Cleaver. He barges in, enticed by the lovely voice of the woman on the TV, and we sneakily make our way past. Cranking the lever and yeeting ourselves across the room. Well, that's that. We solve more puzzles as we make our way through the pipelines, graciously greeted by Daddy Long Arms, and this guy just doesn't know when to fucking give up. We're stuck in the room, up close and personal with his grubby fingers as we figure out a way to close the door on him. Pulling the bars, one by one, we finally cut off his arms, and goddamn, this was satisfying. We give him a little love tap as we make our way into the darkness, finally safe from him. For now. Hello everyone, it's Olive. No, it's been a while. I just want to say hi, how have you been? And decided to try out a new format for the upcoming videos. I hope you like it. It's been fun just talking about the games rather than just showing gameplay, try something different. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Consider liking and subscribing for more videos to come, albeit a bit late, because, school. Yeah. Stay safe, stay lovely. Olive out.